Welcome to another live stream. Today is Sunday, November 10th. Let me adjust this slightly. Um, cool. So, Sunday, November 10th, if you are brand new to this channel, welcome to these live streams. I try to do these at least once a week, um, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But this is the normal time. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the normal time that I do these live streams. And so, if you are brand new to this channel, to these live streams, welcome. I really do appreciate you taking the time to check this out, whether that is live right now or if you're watching the playback on YouTube. I will invite you to please feel free to leave any comments down below if you're watching the playback of anything discussed, and I will get back to you on my answer. And of course, if you're watching this live, feel free to leave any comments in the live chat, and I will get back to that as well. But yeah, I usually during these live streams, we talk about things of physical media. We talk about what I watched in the last week. I should also ask my viewers that are currently watching, does everything look and sound good? I appreciate just letting me know that. But yes, I have a very small stack of films I'm going to talk about today. But yeah, and also we talk about just anything else physical media related. Um, let's see. I am so interested in the Napoleon review. When is that made again? 1927 is when the film came out. Everything okay? Sweet, cool. Thank you very much. So yes, I'm just going to dive right into it. But before I talk about Napoleon, which if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I did actually reach my goal of watching 365 films in the year of 2024. I'm actually currently sitting at 367 films, which is really fun. But the one movie that I watched before Napoleon, this is movie number 364. I watched the Purge election year, mainly because there was just America. For those who are living in America, the election happened, and so I decided to pop this in because it seemed like an appropriate time to watch an election film. So, yeah, Purge election year. I feel like these films. This is the third Purge movie, and I feel like the Purge films are just kind of they're silly. They're I feel like the first initial idea for these films was kind of interesting, kind of an interesting concept, but as they go on and they try to like build the world, just in my personal opinion, I feel like they get kind of silly. And I just feel like it's they're not as good. I enjoyed the first film, but this one I thought was just okay. Even the one before this I thought was just mediocre. I mean, it's crazy that there's what, like five of these movies now. There's this one, and then the first Purge, and then there's one other one that I have not seen yet. But yeah, the Purge election year. Probably will never watch this again. I feel like it's pretty much exactly what you would expect within a Purge film. So, um, but the film that I really want to talk about tonight, this is the one that I decided to make my 365th film of the year. Which when I made that goal, it was not to watch 300 like a movie a day basically, but just in general watching 365 films total. And so I was trying to decide over the last few months what I was going to make my end movie, or the one that was actually going to make me hit my goal this year. What movie did I want that to be? And so I ended up deciding on this film that, much like Andrei Zulawski's On the Silver Globe, which it was almost like a quest to figure out how to get a copy to watch the film. It was a very exciting film for me to watch because it's something I've been wanting to see. Between Andrei Zulawski's On the Silver Globe and Zulawski's Possession, both of those films were ones that I really, really wanted to see, and I was able to get a copy and able to watch this year, which was very exciting. This is another one that I really wanted to see. The second I found out about it, I really, really wanted to check it out. And that is from 1927, the film Napoleon. Now, what is fun about this film, the only ways you can get a copy of this movie, there are only two different ways. Um, you can get it on Laserdisc, which it comes in which I would love to grab a copy of it, but it's like this thick box of a like a box set of a Laserdisc. Or you can get the BFI Blu-ray or DVD, both of which are out of print, and both of which are Region B. So if you live in America, all American players are Region A, and they will only play Region A discs. But I think Region 4, if I'm not mistaken. But Region B is from overseas. BFI, of course, stands for British Film Institute. So this is from England. You had to import these discs to actually watch them. And yeah, so to watch this, you see the little region thing right here. It says Region B. To watch this, you have to have what's called a region-free player. Um, and this was a movie that before this, I didn't really own a region free player, and it was a whole fiasco trying to get one. And I had to buy a remote, and I eventually did find one at a good price with a remote and everything. So I was able to watch region free discs. And this was one that I really, really wanted to see. Like I said, it's from 1927. It's so what makes this actually really unique is it is 332 minutes long, and so that works out for about 5.5 hours worth of movie. This is an epic that is absolutely insane for especially the time period that this was made. Um, and so each disc is broken into an act. So disc 1 is act 1, disc 2 is act 2 and 3, and disc 4 is act 4. This is truly a masterpiece. I cannot recommend watching this enough. I really, really hope someday like Criterion or somebody picks this up, making it more available to people, because this, um, even at 5.5 hours, it flew by. It is a technical masterpiece, and this is the most complete version of the film we have. I guess the original version of the film was supposed to be closer to like 7 hours, I believe. But Napoleon, the one that we actually have a physical copy of that we can watch today, is 5.5 hours. So there was a section that is missing, but I don't know if there was ever like a surviving print of that. So um, also, what makes this film very interesting, sorry I'm talking about this so much, it is this movie in particular was one that I've been really, really wanting to check out. And so I kind of want to give it a little bit longer of a review on this live stream, because I do think that it is a very unique film. Um, and it is so the film is black and white. It's a silent black and white film, but some of the scenes, or some of the sequences rather, are like tinted, and so the whole screen might be red, the whole screen might be blue or orange, or I think there's one that's pink or green, just to kind of depending on the mood of the film. So it's kind of like it's mainly, I would say, mostly in black and white, but um, also, what's really cool about this film is they strapped the camera to any object that they could in the entire film. So, they strapped it to a horseback. They put the camera on a swinging pendulum. They, put the camera like really far away and really close, and different sequences within this film. And so there was what's very interesting too is there's a scene where the screen is broken into 9 boxes. I mean, it first starts off at 4 boxes and then goes to 9. In today's world in Premiere Pro or whatever, it would take, all but 20 minutes to do that, to put it into 9 different squares. But back then, when you're shooting on film, what he had to do as a director, he had to basically go in and basically like cover up most, like split the film into 9 squares, cover up 8 of them, film a scene, rewind the film, cover up the film that he just shot, open up another box, film the scene, rewind it, and repeat that process over and over until he got all 9 squares individually filmed, which is absolutely insane if you really have to think about what that takes to do, and the patience and the skill to actually pull something like that off. Because if you mess up, you pretty much have to start all over. So small stuff like that, I think, is very, very impressive. Also, the scale of the film. There's so many extras, so many actors. This was supposed to be, I think, like I said, this is supposed to be like part one of like 7, or one of 6 films, I believe, about Napoleon. And unfortunately, due to many, many reasons, this was the only film that he was able to produce. I mean, one being it's 5.5 hours long. And back in the day of 1927, you had to have a live orchestra playing along with the film, and he would actually send out sheet music along with this movie um, to be played along with the film. And so each viewing of the movie would be played identical, whether you went to see it here or there or wherever, because it was it's a, it was like, if you didn't do that, then basically all these other orchestras would be playing different types of music. And so that's one thing that why it failed is because asking an orchestra to play a 5.5 hour part, only with two intermissions is kind of insane. Another big reason, the last half hour, 20-ish minutes of this movie, the screen splits into three sections. Now, the original version of this film, it would have had three screens in the theater, and so you'd have one in the middle and then two on the sides. And the projectionist had to time everything up perfectly. The way they shot some of these sequences, especially this last battle sequence, they put three cameras next to each other and shot this scene where it all had to be projected onto three different screens. And so very fascinating technique. It was essentially widescreen before widescreen was a thing. And so you had this really wide picture. It's not perfect. You can definitely tell it's slightly off, but for 1927, it is truly something impressive. And so I honestly, I cannot recommend this film enough. It is 5.5 hours, but I am telling you, it really does not feel like 5.5 hours. And I would recommend trying to watch it all in one go. I think that's really how you would get the most out of the film. It's truly a beautiful masterpiece of a movie, and it is worth buying a region free player. It's worth going on to eBay trying to find a copy. They can get pricey. There's a few copies out there that are very pricey. There was like a limited edition or special edition where it's not in a plastic case. It's kind of like in a gatefold type of thing where it kind of folds out. And that version alone is very pricey. I would love to get the Laserdisc at some point, just simply because of the cool artwork on it. But I really hope someday this does go to Criterion or Arrow Video or something, because I feel like, or even Kino. I feel like this would be more of a Kino Lober type of deal. But really, just an amazing film. Really cannot recommend it enough. Highly recommend checking this out if you are able to get a copy. Okay, so that's all my ranting for Napoleon. I am sorry that took so long, but let's jump into the comments quickly. So I watched Hellraiser for the first time. I think it was good. I wouldn't say great, but I am just not that much of a horror fan. Is the second film better in your opinion, or to you or to you? I'm assuming in your opinion. Um, that's hard to say. I would say, I mean, I do like that first Hellraiser film. It's been a while since I've seen Hellraiser 2, to be honest with you, but I remember enjoying it, but I think I liked Hellraiser 1 more. I think Hellraiser 1 just has that, um, like, it's that like original idea. I believe it's written by Clive Barker, if not directed by Clive Barker. I could be mistaken in that, which is the original author of Hellbound, which is the novel that he based it off of, which is his novel. So it is one of those rare instances where the director is also directly tied to the original creation of the original work. So um, I do like Hellraiser, though. I would say it is one of those movies that I feel like if you are not a huge horror fan, it's probably not for you. But it's an interesting film, if that makes sense. But are you excited for Orphan 3? I haven't seen them, but they seem good. Orphan 3. So I've only seen the first Orphan film. Yes, there was a second movie. But I've not seen the second one. So I would say probably not. I thought the first one was pretty good, but it just feels like done before, in my opinion. It reminded me a lot of like The Omen. I know it's not the same thing, but it's just like little kid, like the kid's bad, basically. And so I feel like that idea has been kind of done a lot. So I'm not like I feel like maybe I'm like like not as a sequel person. I'm learning. I think I really like the original film. So I mean, I do like Orphan, but it wasn't like one that I've revisited since I first watched it. Let's see. What's the most important horror movie in your opinion? Um, Most important? That's a great question. I mean, in some ways, I would say I mean, in many ways, I'd say Night of the Living Dead, mainly because it literally changed copyright laws forever. And so I feel like that's pretty important, how things are like put into the public domain and how copyright works and everything. I think that's a pretty important step within just the film industry. It's not necessarily I mean, it is important to like the genre of horror, but in regards to just film as an art form, I mean, Night of the Living Dead, I'd say is probably the most important that way. Um, but I'd say probably if I beyond that, I would say Halloween was probably one of the most influential where it's like it really showed that you can make something on a low budget and have a high return. There might have been a movie before that did that, but that's the one that comes to mind. I'd say probably Halloween. I feel like that'd probably be my answer. What's a movie that's never gonna get a sequel that should? Ooh, that's a great question. A movie that should have a sequel that but won't. Um, that's a great question. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, I have no idea. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I can't think of any at the moment. I'm sorry. But yes, so after Napoleon, on the 7th of the month, I went to the theater with my in-laws and my wife, and we went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. It's one that my mother and father-in-law already went to go see, and so we went to another theater to go. They wanted to see it again, and me and my wife just never got around to watching it, and so we went there and saw it. I'm not like the biggest superhero fan out there. I definitely it's not like my favorite genre. I've seen most of the superhero movies. I've not watched any of the TV shows, and it's not really the types of films I really lean towards. However, I will say Deadpool. I really liked the first Deadpool. I thought it was actually pretty fun and interesting and different. And it's November. How is it still playing? Yes, actually, it was like in the dollar theater. Basically, it was the cheap seats. There's like a theater kind of nearby that has like movies that have been out for a very long time, and it's was I think it was like $5 a ticket or something. So um yes, I mean, overall, the film was like Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought it was fun. I thought it was like an interesting twist on the genre. It definitely plays more into the multiverse thing, and which I think at this point I'm just like, kind of like tired of the multiverse. I think it's just kind of like um it just feels like such a overdone like thing at this point. I feel like it's just been done in every different superhero movie, and it feels like such a dragged out idea now. So, but overall, I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I probably won't pick it up anytime soon unless if I come across it very cheap. Um, but yeah, I thought it was okay. And then after Deadpool and Wolverine, I really haven't been watching all that much. I watched a couple more episodes of Tanner 88. This is in the Criterion collection. It's by number 258. Um, and yeah, it's just about an election, and I think I'm almost done with it. It's like a technically like a mini series. It's like 11 episodes, half-hour episodes, basically. Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's like a interesting look at like the political world back in '88. It's supposed to be '88, but it's directed by Robert Altman, which is fun. So that was the other film that I watched. But that's all I watched this whole week. Was just those few titles. I mean, Napoleon took up pretty much my entire one of my entire days, basically, just to watch that since it is 5.5 hours long. But anyways, let me jump back into some of these comments. Any new finds at Retro Attic? I have not been there. I wanted to get out there this week, but unfortunately I was just not able to. Um and yeah, I've not really come across, I mean, I wish I could go there, but I've not been able to I haven't had a chance to get out there. So I've seen he has been getting in some really good stuff, but I just unfortunately I did not watch, or I did not wasn't able to get anything. So I know you have a favorite director section in your collection. For which actors would you make a separate section? Ooh, actors. So I would say like one big reason why I have a director section is that's the aspect of filmmaking that I find most interesting is the director's aspect where it's pulling all the pieces and kind of putting them together into making something. And so, like me personally, like I would love to like my dream is to be making films at some point in the future. Um, so that's definitely the area where I like look at the most. Actors, on the other hand, I don't know if I would have an actors section, um, mainly because it's like I understand the importance of it, but it's not my favorite like it's not my favorite like part of filmmaking, if that makes sense. Um, I would maybe have like just for the bit, I might have like a Nicolas Cage section because I feel like that'd be kind of fun. Not he's not really like my favorite actor or anything, but I think it'd just be kind of fun to have that. Um, but I'm trying to think if there's any actors that I'd really. I used to have. I will say I used to have the three James Dean films set aside, which was Giant, Rebel Without a Cause, and what's this other East of Eden. But um, yeah, I don't know who I would have for my actor section. Um, let's see, as in favorite actors. I do like, I mean, Ryan Gosling. I feel like I like his acting style. Um, I mean, Tom Cruise, I guess. I don't know. I like Tom Cruise movies, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I would like specifically watch a movie because he's in it, if that makes sense. I don't know if there's any actors that I would specifically watch because they were in the film. I would watch the like movies that were made by a specific director because the director made the movie, but actors, yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. See, Marvel is in the multiverse saga. It's called that. Gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. Um, Favorite Jim Carrey movie, and who's your favorite Canadian actor? Uh, Keanu, maybe. Hmm. Favorite Jim Carrey movie? Um. Oh wait, you said Jim Carrey, correct? Yes. Definitely favorite Jim Carrey movie is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Um, yeah, that was for sure. That is, I mean, that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it just, I like that in that film he's kind of playing not the goofy character that everybody knows him as, and so I watched a video once who they basically broke it down of like, we all have this idea of Jim Carrey as this like goofy like comedian actor basically, and it's such a contrast to his character or Joel in the in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind that we all have this idea of him as that, and there's like the contrast of him like this sad, lonely, shy person, and it really works in favor um, of his character in that movie. And so, definitely, Eternal Sunshine is my favorite Jim Carrey film. But as far as Canadian actor, I don't know. I really don't have any favorites. I apologize. I'm not sure. Um, let's see. Thinking of getting the Criterion Channel. Any negatives you can think of from getting the channel? Actually, no. I would if I would actually recommend it to people. Now, I personally do not have the Criterion Channel. I want it, but I do not have it. And the reasoning is, buying Criterion like this can be very, very expensive, especially during the sale. One title can be $20 or more if you're getting a box set. So it can be a very, very expensive way to watch the films. And I would say, like, if you want to watch these movies, but you don't want to invest your money that way, I would say Criterion Channel is a great alternative, especially for blind buys. So, like, if you've never seen the movie, Notorious by Alfred Hitchcock. You might not want to put $20 into buying this yet. You might be like, well, I want to watch it first before I buy it, which is totally understandable for most collectors. I totally understand that's a reasonable thing to do, and so. Um, yeah, I would say the next best thing is either buying a cheap copy on DVD or Blu-ray, just the standard edition, or getting the Criterion Channel because there's certain films like where is it? There's certain films like Come and See, which this movie was actually very, very hard to find a copy of before Criterion picked it up. I don't even know if there was there might have been a physical media, but it might have been Region B. Not 100% sure on that, but um, there's certain films within the Criterion collection that are just impossible to find, and so or if you do find them, it's going to be very difficult to watch, or they are going to be very expensive. And so, if you are very curious on Criterion, the Criterion Channel is a great way to kind of dip your toes into Criterion. And kind of get like an idea of what films are like available. Now, I will say not everything on the Criterion Channel is available on disc, and not everything on disc is available on Criterion Channel. And so there is a crossover. There's some films on both you can get on disc or on the Criterion Channel, but there are definitely films exclusively to their platforms. And yeah, so honestly, I would recommend it if you are able to do that, because I feel like you are going to be getting a taste of Criterion, and you're going to be able to try out a lot of films before you invest $20 or more to on one disc. So that's my take on the Criterion Channel. How are the cats doing? They are good. They've been sleeping all day. They need to wake up, or else they're going to keep me up all night. Um, yes. Let's see. Did you see about Tony Todd? Yes, I did. That's really sad. Yeah, Tony Todd was the actor in Candyman, and he's the guy who plays. Let's see, I have a small photo of him, Candyman himself, and so um, yeah, it was very sad. I don't know a whole lot of other. I know he was in like a ton of stuff, including the remake of Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini, and he's in a few other things that I recognized on the Instagram posts. But yeah, it's very unfortunate. It's always sad when an actor passes because I feel like a lot of their films. It's like that's kind of the last. I mean, like that is kind of what is like left is just like the films that they were in. So um yeah, it's very unfortunate. I need to watch more of his films, but first let's see, first place Eternal Sunshine, second place The Truman Show, third place Man on the Moon, uh for favorite Carrie movies. Okay, so I've seen Eternal Sunshine and Truman Show. I would also probably put Truman Show as second in my opinion. I've not seen Man of the Moon or Man on the Moon. I have it on a DVD. Let's see, yeah, over there. But I've not actually sat down and watched it, so I'm gonna have to do that. I know the story of it. I know there was a documentary on Netflix a couple years ago that came out about Man on the Moon, but yeah, I need to just sit down and watch it. I feel like it's one of those that I'd probably enjoy. I'm gonna grab a sip of my coffee quickly. Yeah, but the Truman Show, I feel like it's one of those films that is just like perfect. It's such a great movie. And I feel like if you think about it too long, it starts to fall apart. But I mean, just in general, it's just such a great film that um, I really, really like. I need to watch it again. I should say it's been a while, but my next two watch movies are Alice, Sweet Alice, Bloody Murder, Maniac, The Howling. All first time watches. What should I watch first? Oh, and Prom Night, 1981. Um, hmm. I've Bloody Murder. I've seen, but it's been a very long time, so I don't know if I could recommend it because it's been. I watched the second one semi recently, but the first one has been a very, very long time. Um, and Alice, Sweet Alice is pretty good. And okay, I would probably say start with Maniac. Um, mainly because I love Maniac. I think it's such a fun film. Um, and The Howling, it's also been a while since I've seen The Howling. I remember liking it, but I always get The Howling and American Werewolf in London mixed up. I mean, both about werewolves, so yeah, in my brain, I just get them mixed up. But I'd probably say either start with Alice, Sweet Alice, or Maniac. Both fun films, but I'm also a big fan of like the slasher genre. And werewolf movies aren't really like it's not my favorite genre. But yeah, and Prom Night. It's been a while since I've seen Prom Night as well. Um, but it's not I feel like Prom Night was not what I was anticipating it to be, when I first watched it. It's another one I need to watch again, because it's also been a while, but it wasn't exactly what I was thinking it was going to be, so, but see, if you were on my last live stream, you would have known that I built a popcorn machine, um, and I meant to do, like, have it in the background with the light on or something. I haven't got a chance to test it out yet because I need to go get some popcorn still, but, um, yeah, that was it's a fun item to add to the movie room that I'm excited to actually, make some popcorn and sit down and watch some movies, but see, I bought Tenet on Blu-ray for $8. How high is it on your, Nolan list? Um, See, that's a very interesting I feel like Tenet is a very interesting Christopher Nolan film. Um, it's I've seen it I should say I've only seen it once, and that was in theaters. I own the 4K Steelbook, but um I have not watched it yet, or I've not rewatched it rather. And I feel like I think about it fairly often. The soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. So I recommend watching it for no other reason but the soundtrack. I mean, that soundtrack is just it's fantastic. The film itself is I almost want to say it's confusing for the sake of being confusing. However, I do like it. I think it's a very interesting film that um, I think it sticks with you after you watch it, and I think it's a um, definitely worth a watch. So I don't know what rating I would put it within the different Christopher Nolan films. It's definitely not my favorite, but it's probably not my least favorite either. Um, so I'd say it probably falls somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I'd say towards the middle of the pack. Definitely not his best, but also not his worst. So, um, see, someone on Facebook Marketplace has the Evil Bong DVD set for $75. Would you get it? LOL, all seven movies. Um, so I have to sneeze. So I've actually never watched any of the Evil Bong films. I do know they're all Full Moon, which if you are familiar with Full Moon, a lot of the time it was make them as cheap and as fast as possible to turn them out, to get them on the VHS or DVD rental stores shelves, and so they're not quality films. I can almost guarantee they're not quality films. But $75 for the box set, I feel like that's actually is. I mean, if it's the DVD box set, I don't know the what they usually go for, but I know the Blu-ray box set there is a nice like Blu-ray set. It's like this big and it has all seven movies in the middle. That one actually sells for a decent amount. But I I've never seen them, so I can't say for sure if it would be worth the money or not. But I guess just check on eBay. I guess gauge what they're going for, but I always recommend if instead of like buying up one full box set, sometimes, especially if it's a lot of money, maybe try watch like one or two of the films first before you like invest in one full set. But um, see. Do you remember the Dream Warriors rock song from Nightmare on Elm Street 3? That was such a good song, and I am the biggest rock fan. LOL. Trying to think. It's also been a hot minute since I've seen Dream Warriors. which I know is I mean, it's a fantastic film, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I can't say that I remember the song though. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up after the live stream. But um, yes, so I am curious for those who are watching. I know right now the Criterion sale at Barnes and Noble is happening. I am curious if anyone out there has purchased anything or are planning on getting anything. I personally have only been able to grab one title so far, and I will probably talk about that in a later video. But yeah, I'm curious on what people are picking up during the Criterion sale because it is definitely that time of year where it's the whole month of November. You can get them at 50% off at Barnes and Noble. I know, unfortunately, for those who do not live in the country, you are not able to participate in the Criterion sale, which is so unfortunate um, because it really, I mean, even they are half off, they're still expensive, but I mean, a standard Blu-ray is $20 even at the half off price, and so it's like I don't know. It's definitely the cheapest you can get them, but yeah, it's always a fun time of year. So let's see, Paper Moon 4K and Albert Brooks Real Life and Mother 4K. Nice. I believe all of those are yeah, those are all newer spy numbers. So yeah, Paper Moon, new or Real Life and Mother on 4K. Nice. Um, I will say I went through and I have a notebook of keeping track of all of the Criterion titles because for those who are new to the channel, one of my goals is to watch, or not to watch, but I mean yes, but also to own every single Criterion spy number out there. I'm about halfway there, and I basically went through in my notebook because within the notebook I keep track of if it's available on Blu-ray, if it's out of print, and if I own it, and then I also keep track of spine number and the title. Um, and I recently went through and added if it's available on 4K because they've just been pumping out some great 4Ks lately, and so um, I've been wanting to pick up more, but real life, let's see, predicted real or the reality show craze back in the '70s. Paper Moon is a great. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, I need to get Paper Moon. I feel like I've heard really good things about it, but I need to actually check it out. Um, Long Good Friday is also great and just released. Yes, I have Long Good Friday on the original DVD, which always bothered me. This is my only Criterion that has this, but it has like this red tape on the there, and then it's also missing the DVD insert. And so it's my only Criterion that I'm missing the DVD insert, and it has this, and so I it was always one that sticks out to me. So um, I'll have to upgrade this to the 4K eventually, but yes, I Long Good Friday is actually a pretty good, pretty great film. Um, let's see. Next to my movies, I own about 100 original movie soundtracks on CD and vinyl. How many soundtracks do you own? Yes, so I have. It's kind of like around the corner of the movie room. It's like I don't know, like two little shelves, I guess, of CDs. I'd probably say like 20 or 30, maybe. I did just get rid of some. Yeah, I at one point I thought about like maybe trying to collect soundtracks on CD, but it's one of those things that like I don't listen to CDs as often as I used to, and so I've definitely narrowed my CD collection down over the years. Um, and as far as vinyl, I am like very picky on which vinyl I get, mainly because I'm trying to keep myself from just going down the rabbit hole of vinyl because I know once you start going down it, it's just like an endless. Um, it's just so like there's so many out there, and I already collect movies, and I'm like I have to stick to with movies. I can't do vinyl because if I do vinyl, then it'd be trying to collect too many things, and so I don't know. I try to stick with just movies, but I do have a very small vinyl collection, which I don't know if I have maybe a Star Wars soundtrack in there, maybe. Um, and I think there's like a Stranger Things I got from my wife, a Stranger Things vinyl, and like um, I think that's it though. I got the Drive soundtrack as well. But I think I want to say that's it for my vinyl soundtracks. But um, let's see, Farewell, my uh, concubine, also great new release. Um, did you pick up Mona Lisa on Criterion? Great movie. I have Mona Lisa. I'm assuming you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about this Mona Lisa. I don't know if there's another Mona Lisa on Criterion. Um, I feel like there might be. I don't know, but this Mona Lisa, this is spy number 107. This is actually really good. I like this movie. Um, yeah, it was pretty good. Um, let's see. No Criterion in Dutch stores, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That's very unfortunate, Ralph. Um, but Russ Meyer movies coming out from Severin on 4K. Yes, yes, I saw that. Severin finally has broke the impossibility. It feels like it's almost like an impossible thing that they were able to do this. But Russ Meyers, for those who are not aware, Russ Meyers was a director, an American filmmaker. Um, I have only seen one of his movies, and that would be Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. But I've not seen any of his other films, and a big reason for that is they are very hard to find. One of them that is I guess that like there's a couple of his films in my top 1000 greatest films to see before you die book, and I've always wanted to see some of them, but they are just impossible to find. And so I know Arrow Video back in the day put them out on DVD, which was a Region B DVD box set, or Region 2 rather. And now that box set, I believe there's a couple on eBay, but it's like $900, and it's absolutely insane. However, Severin Films finally made a deal with the person who owns the rights of the films and is releasing. I think they're releasing three of Russ Meyer's movies, and so yeah, it's kind of like crazy when that happens, where it's a filmmaker that's their movies were very very hard to find or um, next to impossible to get, and they're finally able to really like release them on a bigger scale. So it's always like an exciting thing, regardless of what movie it is. It's an exciting thing for a collector, because like they are just films that whether it's I don't know. A lot of Criterion films were like that, whether they were just very hard to find. I mean, like the movie that I talked about earlier, Come and See, where it's a film that not many people will probably have seen until Criterion got the rights and released it on a wide scale. So, always good, like news within the physical media world, to release or for that to happen. But are you a fan of old westerns like John Wayne stuff? Um, Not like really. I have a lot of John Wayne movies, but I don't know if I've really sat down. I've seen a couple of them. I've seen like The Searchers is one. I've seen like the major ones. And I really do like it's not John Wayne, but I do like the Man with No Name trilogy. So the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, and a few dollars more. I love those movies. I think they're fantastic. And I'm trying to think of any other westerns that come to mind that I really like. Yeah, I feel like they're interesting, but not my like I don't know, not my like go-to what's it called? Like not my go-to genre, but I do like westerns from time to time. Yes, that Mona Lisa, cool. Yes, that Mona Lisa is actually yeah. It's been a while since I feel like that should be my catchphrase at this point, where it's been a while since I've seen it, but Vinegar Syndrome are releasing Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Highly recommend. I've not heard of that, but I'll have to look into that after this. That was a hard one for to get for years. Okay. I absolutely love it when these labels do that, where they're releasing films that whether they were impossible to find. I believe it's Scream Factory that is releasing the film Hush, which was on Netflix, and then it got taken off Netflix, and you couldn't find a copy. And then Scream Factory came around, bought the rights, and now we're releasing it on physical media. So it's always a such a fantastic thing when that happens because it's always sad when a movie just kind of disappears into nowhere. But um, yeah, I mean, I feel like Vinegar Syndrome is a great company too for doing that, where they're finding these obscure titles to add into the for what's it called for mainstream, I guess, or mass consumption. But are you excited for the news announcement Star Wars trilogy? LOL. More episode 10, 11, 12, but I don't know. Or maybe episodes 10, 11, 12. Honestly, I do not care. I didn't even know there was an announcement. I don't pay attention to anything Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back is my all-time favorite film. However, I do not care what they put out. I just genuinely, I'm done with Star Wars, with whatever they put out. I will always just watch the original six films, and that includes the prequels because I do like the prequel films. Um, but yeah, I really just I don't care anymore. I won't see them if I come across them on a DVD or a Blu-ray or something. Maybe I'll pick it up, but other than that, I do not. I really don't care. And I feel like that's how a lot of Star Wars fans are leaning towards, where it's just um, we will always have that original if you don't like all six, at least you'll have the original trilogy. Um and it's just I don't know. It's like it's kind of like cuz it's like lightning in a bottle for those first films, and especially Empire. I feel like it was just such a I mean it's a perfect film in my opinion, but let's see. Warner Archives is releasing The Searchers 4K. I did see that. Yes, that actually would be great to pick up. Did you pick up the crazy expensive Never Ending Story box? I did not. I didn't even know there was a Never Ending Story box. I have the movies on Blu-ray, I believe. But actually, that those two films are ones that I've never actually watched. They're ones that I just missed as a child, and I just have never came across and actually sat down and watched it. So I will have to watch those at some point in life. It was kind of like this last Halloween, I watched Casper for the first time. It was just another one I missed as a child, and so um, I will have to check it out. But let's see, Looking Mr. Good or Good Bar had too much music, so that held it up for years. Gotcha. Did you watch Don't Breathe when they break into the blind guy's house? It was really good movie. I saw the sequel trailer and said, "Yeah, I'm good." Yes. So I actually I went to go see Don't Breathe in theaters back when it came out. And I would say at the height of the film, so kind of when it was starting to explain more about the old guy, like in his basement and stuff. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The fire alarm at the theater went off, and we all had to leave the theater. And so we didn't really know what ended up happening in the movie. So that was really annoying. And I basically, I didn't, like, I think I got like a free ticket or something, but um, I didn't actually end up going to see it again. I eventually just bought the Blu-ray and watched it then. But yeah, Don't Breathe was actually kind of like a fun, pretty suspenseful film. I did not watch the sequel though. I think I want to say I own it. Yeah, I do own the sequel, but I've not watched it. Um, so the Empire Strikes Back and the first Star Wars are really the only good ones. Um, yeah, I understand um, I definitely understand people's opinions with that. I mean, personally, for me, I love like for different reasons all six of the original films. I think when it's Revenge of the Sith, for when that came out, that was like at the absolute perfect time for me as a child because um, it was just like the height of me being aware of Star Wars and being aware of I mean, from what I remember, the marketing on it was just absolutely, it reached everywhere. It was on, like, they had Star Wars, like, chip bags and pop cans and toys and games and video games, and just, I mean, it was just, it went on and on and on, and it was just kind of insane. Clothing, like, it was just everywhere. Um, I mean, I remember I had like a Star Wars Episode 3 sleeping bag, and um, it was such a fun time to be a Star Wars fan. And so that movie, in many ways, it was the only original of the films I saw in theaters. That movie holds a special place in my heart because it's like, it came out at such a great time in my life, and I just very distinctly remember all of it. Um, but and I mean, out of the 6, my least favorite is Episode 2. I feel like Episode 1 was, it's fun. It was my that one also holds a special spot in my heart because it was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw was Episode 1, and, so I definitely just have some nostalgia with it, but, yeah, Empire is by far my favorite, though. It's definitely my favorite of the original of all of the Star Wars, I should say. Um, let's see. Fun City Edition has Racing with the Moon coming out. It's a great movie. I've not heard of that one either. I have to look that up. But I have a maximum rule for myself on how much I spend on DVDs. Five, 5 on DVDs, Blu-rays 10, 4K/3D Blu-ray 15. Do you have a limit for yourself? Um, Yes and no. When it comes to like Criterion, if it is not during the sales, um, if I see a movie, just say at like a used video store, and it's a standard Blu-ray, it's not out of print, and if they're asking 25, I won't buy it. I try to, when it comes to Criterion, if it's used, around $18. If it's not out of print or anything, about, I would say my limit is about $18 for the Blu-ray. But that's pretty much it. I won't. I'll do a little bit of research per like movie. Very very little, but um, if just say if they had, I don't know, if I saw like The Village for $20, I definitely wouldn't buy it just because I know it's not worth $20. Um, but there's just certain titles that I feel like after like I've like narrowed my collecting down to now I know, um, which movies I specifically really want to collect and which ones do I want to, invest money into. And so, but yeah, I feel like that sounds like a pretty good, um, what was it? There's like 5 DVDs, 10 for Blu-ray. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good limits. But have you seen the 2004 movie Would You Rather? It honestly stuck to me. It's weird and and suspenseful, and a good movie. Then the girl goes to play the game to win money for her brother who has cancer. I feel like I started that movie a long time ago on. I think I was watching it on Netflix, but I never finished it. Um, yes, I definitely have heard of the movie, but and people who fall or fail the challenge die. Yes. As far as it's been a while, but I feel like I started it. Um, I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater back in the early 80s, and it blew my mind. Return of the Jedi felt a little corny, especially with the Ewoks. Yes, I would have absolutely loved to see Empire Strikes Back opening night back in the theater. I think it's like if I had a time machine and if I could only go back to like see one movie opening night, it'd probably be Empire Strikes Back. Um, Mainly because I mean the twist ending would just, I feel like that would just really blow your mind. Um, Especially before social media, before the internet and all the things. I feel like just going and experiencing it without like being spoiled on anything would just be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I definitely understand people's critiques with the Ewoks. um let's see. Oh, I remember the biggest tins. They had those big the uh in one tin, and it had artwork of all 6 films. I have the tins from 2005. They had those big Doritos bags. Yes, yes. There was marketing for Episode 3. The marketing was absolutely insane. Like I had Star Wars. shirts, and like I think I had a Star Wars belt. I had like Star Wars. I remember even going to like a pool party once back in, when I was a kid, and um they had a some chips out on the table, and I remember like I had them cut out the little Star Wars thing on the chip bag, and like, because I wanted to take it home, and I don't know. I was a collecting. I mean, at that point, it was basically just collecting trash. But I was like a kid, so I didn't really, think of it like that. But anything, if it had the Star Wars logo on it, I wanted it. And so, I mean, there was like M&M bags and just all this stuff, just so much Star Wars stuff, and even like I remember, like even like Walmart, they had this huge Star Wars aisles of just toys and lightsabers and all kinds of stuff. It was so fun. It's such a fun time, and I feel like I have yet to come across a movie marketing the same way as Episode 3. There might have been like since then, but none that I can remember. And I just feel like it pretty much was touching every product. There was Star Wars cereal, I remember. I remember it had like little like Yodas and stuff on it, and yeah, it was just such a fun time. Um, yeah, I wish I could almost like go back in time and just like record it now, because I feel like it was so cool just to walk around Walmart in 2005. But let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to the to live stream. Have you seen Moonfall? I have not. I have a friend who absolutely loves Moonfall, and I've not gotten a chance to or check it out yet. So I will. I'll have to watch it sometime. I also do not own it, I should add. I have not gotten a copy of it. But Racing the or with the Moon is an early Sean Penn, Nicolas Cage movie from FCE. Do you really or do a really good job with their releases? Interesting. Deaf Crocodile is a great label. Yes, Deaf Crocodile is now attached with Vinegar Syndrome. If no, no, they're not. I take that back. I believe they're the ones who stepped away from the partner labels. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, there was one label that stepped away, and I think it was Deaf Crocodile, because I remember Vinegar Syndrome was just trying to get all of their titles out. But um, yes, I don't own any Deaf Crocodile labels or titles in my collection. But Kino releasing the greatest Nate Kino is releasing the Great Nate and Haynes with Tommy Lee Jones fun pirate movie. Um, yes, I've not seen that one either. But Kino they release so much good stuff. I feel like it's a label that I definitely do not pay as close attention to as I should. Um, but Empire ending on a cliffhanger was crazy, and made us excited for the sequel. Everyone thought it was um, superior to Star Wars, for sure. Yeah, I would agree. I feel like Empire would have been um, honestly just like like ending on a cliffhanger like that, on also kind of a sad ending, because they kind of lose. Like the good guys kind of lose in Empire, and I feel like it was, um, you know, it's like I don't know. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant film that was a huge. I feel like it's a huge gamble for something like that, and that would never be done today, um, because especially on that scale, I feel like they had to almost guarantee it to be a good, you know, building up for this next movie. But Empire truly was lightning in a bottle. Absolutely love Empire Strikes Back. Um, how does it feel? The Force Awakens is 10 years old next year. That's wild. Because I definitely remember going to see that in theaters, opening night with some friends, and um, yeah, that's crazy. That's 10 years old. Um, I feel like in the last like I don't know few years, time has just like sped up dramatically. But I mean, this channel's over a year old already, and it's just um, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Actually, I believe it's at 2 years old. Actually, I don't even know when I started this channel, but I feel like it's been like 2 years, which is crazy. Maybe it's not as that, I don't know. But Fun City Editions, Deaf Crocodile and Culture Shock split with Vinegar Syndrome. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, I don't have any of those labels. I know the partner label thing with Vinegar Syndrome. I feel like I have two. No, I take that back. I have a couple Gaspar Noé films. Who is this? Altered Independence. I have Altered Independence, and I have Dust. Is the label, I think. Dust. Wow, it's so tiny. Yeah, the text on that's like too small, but it says Dust on it. So I have only a handful of partner labels from Vinegar Syndrome. How was your Halloween? It was good. It was definitely like pretty relaxed. Me and my wife just watched some movies. I watched Casper, or not Casper, Casper, the Friendly Ghost, which I guess it's just called Casper. But I watched that for the first time, and then we also watched Halloween H2O because that was next up on my Halloween watching viewing, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty relaxed. I feel like we didn't really do anything. See, Empire benefited, sorry, from the screenplay by Lawrence, who also wrote. This keeps popping away. Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Silverado, among many other movies. Yes, I will. I will say it was. I mean, that does benefit from it a lot because I do think that the writing. I mean, George Lucas is definitely, in my opinion, weakest when it comes to writing. I think he's a great storyteller, but he's not a very good writer, and I think that's what is. Um, I don't know. I think that that's probably what made the prequels not as good. Let's see. Have you seen The Naked Island from? Yes, I believe I have. Um, The Naked Island. Do I have I seen it? It's in the Criterion Collection. That sounds so familiar. The Naked Island. Um, I don't know if I have. I I believe it's in the Criterion Collection, and I believe it has like a guy on the cover like carrying something, like something on his shoulders, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I own it though. Um, I know what movie you're talking about, but I do not. I do not own a copy. So I've not also seen it, but I recommend Fun City Edition films. The catalog isn't too deep yet, but all the movies are quality, especially Alphabet City, the Coca-Cola Kid, Apprentice. Okay, cool. I'll let me take a screenshot. I'll check those out after this live stream. But yeah, um, yeah, I'll have to check out Fun City Edition films. Let's see. How do you feel about Harrison Ford is playing the Hulk in Captain America 4? Is he? I also like I should say I've not kept up with anything Marvel at all. Besides seeing Deadpool and Wolverine a couple nights ago, I've not kept up with anything, any announcements, anything with that. I know what's his name is playing. Robert Downey Jr. is playing um, the villain from Fantastic Four. I don't even know his name, but that's pretty much all the knowledge of the future of Marvel that I know of. So yeah, I haven't really kept up with it. Honestly, if I was Harrison Ford, I probably would just retire at this point. I feel like he's pretty old, but um, yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how that would work out for him. But Casper, or I keep getting Casper, and H2O are great. Yes, I actually really liked Casper. During Halloween, I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas with my 9-year-old daughter. I'm glad she liked it. A good way to introduce scary themes to a youngster. Yes. Um, I've only seen Nightmare Before Christmas one time, and I would agree. I feel like that's a great like introduction to like for kids, introduction to like horror or like more scarier themes and stuff like that because it's more like lighthearted. Um, and it's not too like scary. Um, but yeah, I mean, trying to think of any other like kid-friendly horror films. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Casper is another one I'd recommend. I still have yet to watch Caroline, or trying to think the other ones. Frankenweenie is another Tim Burton movie. But let's see. Do you like Puppet Yoda or CGI Yoda? Definitely Puppet Yoda. See, water. Yes, Puppet Yoda is for sure a better uh, looking like um, look for the character. But um, did you pick up Joystick from MVD Rewind or Hardware Wars? No, but I know what films you're talking about. Yeah, MVD is another company. I feel like it is a blind spot within my collection. I don't have any MVD Rewind. Actually, no, I take that back. I have two. Um, I have Swamp Thing and Ghoulies. These are the only MVD Rewind collection movies that I have. I know they've released a couple other of these 4Ks, but I've not gotten a chance to pick those up. Arrow is releasing A Simple Plan, a great Sam Raimi movie. A Simple Plan, Simple Plan. I feel like I have that movie on DVD, maybe VHS. Um, let's see, CGI Yoda kills puppet, LOL. Um, Caroline is creepy as for kids. Yeah, I need to watch Caroline. It's one that like I definitely is another one that I just never watched growing up. But The Monster Squad is a good Halloween movie. Maybe a little too intense for young kids or younger kids. See, that's another movie that I feel like is one that I for sure should have seen by now, but I have not gotten around to watching. Is The Monster Squad, and I don't own a copy. I need to get myself a copy of it. And yeah, I just need to sit down and actually watch it. I feel like it's one that I definitely it should have been on my list already, but Hocus Pocus, yes, that's another one I feel like a lot of people really like. I personally wasn't a big fan of Hocus Pocus. I also should say I watched it much later in my life. I watched it like 2 years ago, um, and I just it wasn't my type of movie. But um, let's see. Correction, Muppet Yoda. Yes. Um, see, I love the Monster Squad. Night of the Creeps is too intense for kids. Um, yes, I've seen Night of the Creeps. That is definitely one that I'd say probably is not, it shouldn't be for kids. But MVD released a decent 4K of Rain Man, and Joystick is the perfect 80s cheesy film, but uh, see, they rarely have sales. Yeah, that was one downside. I feel like that's where I got those other two of Swamp Thing and Ghoulies. I got them both at Best Buy before Best Buy now stopped carrying movies. Um, but I really, really like those 4Ks. I think they look absolutely fantastic. I love the artwork. I love that they come um, with the poster that all looks like a CED, which is all fantastic. But um, yeah, I feel like it's one that like great releases. But Monster Squad, co-written by Shane Black, who wrote um, Lethal Weapon. Hocus Pocus was a massive bomb when it came out. Um, Cutting Class is on 4K from MVD 2. Yes, I feel like they did Ghoulies 2 and Cutting Class, or like two more that I need to get. I also liked that the MVD Rewind 4K collection, they have like they're numbered. So that's always like I always love it when they number their releases, but I wish that is um let's see, I wish that is something that like Arrow Video or like Severin did more of, which is like actually number their releases because it's always fun. Um, but what's a movie you've recently seen that you'd recommend? So one that I talked about actually pretty much at length at the beginning of this live stream. I don't know if you were here or not. Was the film Napoleon from 1927. I'm not going to go about the whole thing again because it is I spieled about it for a while and I could really talk about this movie a lot. But yeah, if you are curious, I guess rewind the live stream to the beginning when I was talking about this movie because it's not the easiest movie to come across or the easiest movie to even watch because of just the format and all the things. But yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out. Um, yes. MVD might have a Black Friday sale, though possibly we'll see. Yes, I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Kino is still the best label when it comes to sales. I feel like Kino like runs a lot of sales, a lot and I feel like their pricing already isn't terrible. I mean, my personal favorite label, so I have a bias, but it's Criterion. Um, I mean, the I love just looking forward to the 2 months of the year where they have the Barnes and Noble sale. It's always fun, but and especially now that Barnes and Noble like you have like a rewards system that they have put in place. Um, it is unfortunate those for those who do not live in America, they can't really participate in the Barnes and Noble sale. But um, yeah, that's my favorite sale of all of them. Let's see. I just watched Airborne from the 90s. Not bad. Seth Green was hilarious. Airborne. I have not seen that one actually either. Airborne is a great movie from the very early 90s. Warner Archives released a DVD of it a while back. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out as well. Um, it's about rollerblading. Gotcha. 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 Um, Yeah, I feel like that's like a movie genre that we never see anymore. Jack Black is in it too. Yeah, I feel like rollerblading movies is something that I have not seen a rollerblading movie come out since like maybe the early 2000s. I'm sure there's been one, but yeah, I feel like rollerblading, the genre of rollerblading movies is kind of a dying genre now, which is I guess a weird niche, but and ice hockey. Yeah, I feel like yeah, I mean, um, let's see, Shout Factory also or always has have let's see, sales, half-ass sales where the prices drop only slightly. So yeah, that's definitely a thing where a website will have same thing with Severin. Severin does the same thing where throughout the year the title will be 30% off from the original price. And so um just for like so if the movie's $40, it'll be 30% off and it'll, land somewhere at the 20, what would that even be? I can't do math, but whatever. It's like not quite, it's like 25 or something dollars or no, it'd be 36. I think it's like $36. Um, but then out of, then they'll do their 50% off sales, but it'll be 50% off that original like price. So it's they'll say it's always 30% off, but then 50% off comes around and it like only drops slightly from the original price. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a better marketing for them to keep it at 30% off all the time. I mean, Criterion does it. Um, so I don't know. It's a very strange. I don't know what the reasoning for it would be, but um, yeah. I mean, I feel like Scream Factory does it. Um, as far as I know, Vinegar Syndrome kind of does it. Severin does it. Criterion does it. Um, yeah, very strange, but let's see. They released Clock Stoppers on Blu-ray a few years back. A fun little movie. Yes, so that's a movie I've watched like probably 4 or 5 times now. I absolutely loved the movie Clock Stoppers growing up. I thought it was such a fun idea. I think, it's so interesting and It just, I mean, I love movies that play with time or anything to do with that, with like playing with the timeline of things or pausing time, fast forwarding time, time travel, anything like that. Um, I'm just all about. So yeah, Clock Stoppers is just a fun film, which I think I have it on DVD. But The Prayer of the Roller Boys. Yeah, I've not seen. I'm assuming that's the title, but I've not seen that either. Do you have any Cauldron Films releases? I do not. That's another label. I will say most. I would like. I really don't have um I mean, I only have. I should say I only have like the mainstream labels when it comes to like boutique stuff. So that consists of Criterion, Arrow Videos, or Severance, Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, Blue Underground. Um, I'm trying to think what else I have. Vestron Video, Shout Factory, Kino Lober, Umbrella Entertainment, Twilight Time, Scorpion Releasing, Eureka, Powerhouse slash Indicator. Let's see, Olive Films, VCI, Warner Archives, Shout Factory, and a bunch of Anchor Bay, like older Anchor Bay titles. And I think that's it. Oh, Grindhouse Releasing, Synapse Films, 88 Films. I think that's, yeah, as far as I know, that's all of them. I don't have a lot from each of those. Definitely my biggest one is Criterion, but yeah, Cauldron Films is one that I don't have any. Pretty much all of the partner labels from Vinegar Syndrome, I don't have a lot from either. Um, but yeah, so there's definitely I have some blind spots within my collection, but I'll eventually get around to it. But there's a Seinfeld 4K box coming out, a limited edition, a limited run for over $200. Um, yes, I saw they're doing the same or a similar thing with the show Friends, which I really have to ask, like with like Seinfeld or Friends, is the 4K going to be worth the upgrade? Um, I feel like with something like that, like a sitcom, I feel like unless if you're a big fan um of the show, I feel like for the average consumer, it's just not going to be worth the upgrade for a sitcom. Because I feel like, in my opinion, when it comes to 4K, stuff that's worth upgrading is stuff that is visual effects heavy. And that tends to lean towards more of movies rather than like TV shows. Now, in today's world, that's kind of flip flopped a little bit, but I mean, depends on the show, I guess. But yeah, I don't really understand when shows get like a 4K upgrade because um I guess how many times are you rewatching the show to like really enjoy that upgrade, if that makes sense. Um but yeah, just my opinion on shows with that. Um let's see. Yep. Wish they'd release Masterminds with Patrick Swayze. Not Patrick Swayze, Patrick Stewart, I'm sorry. Um yeah, that's another one. I don't think I've seen Masterminds. That sounds so familiar though. I feel like I have it. Or I know of it. I feel like I know of it. I am not 100% sure if um but um let's see. How do you decide when you really want a specific movie? That's a great question. So a lot of the time it's either I've just seen like within a director's filmography. Um, there's some movies that I really want to see within a specific filmmaker's filmography, especially based off of their other movies that they've made. I just really want to see what else they've done. Um, then there's like Criterion, where it is like they'll release something that I've heard of that I've never seen before that just sounds very interesting. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much maybe it, where I just um within the physical media world where it's like, oh, I really want to see this specific title, whether that's based off of a trailer or like somebody's little like I follow like on my Instagram accounts, I follow like a lot of different movie pages. And so it's like, oh, there's a screenshot of a couple scenes from this one movie. I'm like, that looks fantastic. I want to see it. So there's multiple different ways, I think, of deciding that I really want to see a specific movie. But yeah, I feel like that's a, sorry if that's not fully answering your question. Vestron have been pretty quiet lately. Yes, I do think I think a big reason, this is just me guessing, um, I feel like I kept seeing Vestron video titles in Best Buy, and I don't know if they have been releasing them to other people or not, but Vestron, the latest one I have is number 30, which is My Best Friend is a Vampire. Um, but yeah, I would agree. I feel like I have not seen a Vestron video come out lately. Um, and I feel like they've been coming like they were putting them out pretty often before, but let's see. Did you pick up anything in the Indicator Powerhouse sale? I did not. That's another label that I really only have like one or two items from them, and it's a label that I really don't have. I want to have more from them, but I just haven't really dove all that far into it. I will say the region, like the overseas region or the overseas market of movies, I've like slowly been kind of slowly getting into, but um, yeah, I've been really trying to focus, trying to get more Criterion titles and just trying to finish out that collection. Um, but 88 Films has American Pie on 4K. Yes, that's another one. I don't know if I'll ever upgrade from Blu-ray because I have the movie on Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's one I really need on 4K. Hope they do a 4K of Buffy and Angel. Yes, both shows. Again, both of those shows I've not actually gotten around to watching. Let's see. Pick up Coppola's One from the Heart on 4K. He's always tinkering with this or with his movies. Cotton Club, Apocalypse Now. He's worse than Lucas. Yeah, so Coppola is in my favorite director section, and I should say it is partially a favorite director section, but it's also a section of just having a spot for all of this one filmmaker's movies. And so I can kind of visually see how many movies of theirs either I own or which ones I still need. I'll put like a blank DVD case in the spot of where a movie that I'm missing of like that specific director. And so One from the Heart is an example of a movie I do not own, nor have I seen it. Um, and I have a blank DVD copy or a blank DVD case in its spot. So whenever I do get a copy, I'll be able to just kind of pop out the DVD case, put that in. So it's kind of like a placeholder. But that's kind of why I like having the directors over there, where I can specifically see, okay, I need to see X amount of movies of this director. Um, but yeah, it's I do think he does mess with his movies quite a bit. Let's see here. Spartacus 1960 is coming my way in 4K now that is or that is a worthy upgrade. Yes, I have it on 4K. I have not gotten a chance to watch it on 4K though. I have it on. I think when I originally watched it, I watched it on Blu-ray. It was either Blu-ray or DVD. Um, but yes, I would say that's why I upgraded to 4K because I'm like when I do want to revisit this film, it is definitely worth checking out on a 4K because I feel like it's one of those movies that's going to be absolutely beautiful. But Masterminds is from 1997. It also stars Vincent. I feel like that sounds so familiar. Why does it? Let's see, Masterminds. Do I have it? Masterminds. I think I feel like I owned it on DVD at one point. Kino is releasing William Friedkin's Rule of Engagement on 4K, or Rules of Engagement. Um, yes, I have that one on DVD, maybe. Yes, Rules of Engagement. I have that on DVD, and I remember I liked that film. I feel like that'd be worthy of an upgrade. Dream a Little Dream. I think it was the last. let's see, Vestron title released. Um, I think you're right. Yes, I am. I need to. I need to catch up on my Vestron because I have like a small Vestron section, which I don't have a ton of their titles, but Indicator has a Richard Pryor slash Gene Wilder box coming soon. Nice. That's one like yeah. Indicator is one site that I just like never get on. I really should start looking more into that seriously. But do you have Coppola's uh, Garden? Wait, it's disappearing. Stone, great movie, but sad. I do not think I have that one either from Coppola. Yes, there's quite a bit of Coppola films I'm actually missing in my collection. Um, but hi, Carol. Hello, Brent. Let's see. You think you will end up picking up the Frank Capra 4K box set coming out soon, or um, I want to. I've seen that. That looks fantastic and very interesting. I feel like that would definitely be worth getting. And because he's another actor that I just, um, or not actor. I feel like he's just that's another blind spot rather in my films that I've seen of. I feel like that's just I've only seen a handful of them, and I just need to. I mean, obviously, like It's a Wonderful Life, but I'm trying to think of other ones of his that I I'm missing or I've not seen yet. But um, yeah, I would love to pick it up. It just I need to look up how much it is. It's been a while since I've actually read up on it. Um, Wish they'd release Coppola's The Rainmaker on Blu-ray. Yes, that's another one. So, like, yeah, Coppola is, I would say he's like the newest addition to my directors section, and I do not have as many films as I would like of his. I just need to take like maybe like a month and just try to buy up all of his movies. I have I mean, if you are curious, I have a video on my channel where I kind of go over my whole director section, and I think I talk about his movies in that video. So, um, yeah, I the thing is I recently semi recently watched Megaopolis, and I personally really liked Megaopolis. I thought it was a very fascinating film. Um and I would love to I'm so excited for it to come out on Blu-ray or 4K when it hopefully it does. But I definitely want to check it out again. I feel like his movies are I don't know. I feel like his career is also was a very interesting career, but um let's see. Coppola's You're a Big Boy Now and Rain People have come out on Warner Archives. Got to get to that Chud 2 from Restaurant. Yes, I agree. I need to. Coppola made Gardens of Stone when his son was killed. It has that mournful tone as a result. And Peggy Sue Got Married needs a re-release as well. Fun Coppola movie. Let's see, did you put Rumblefish from Criterion in the director section or Criterion section? So yes, those are all films that some of those I'm missing still within my collection. And Rumblefish is actually Criterion I do not have yet. It's on the list eventually, but so usually what I do when it comes to like David Cronen, or not David, yeah, David Cronenberg is a perfect example. I have most of his movies. I only have a copy within the Criterion collection, and so movies, like Videodrome is I have a Criterion DVD box set of or edition of it. I need to upgrade this to 4K, but um I what I have over there is I usually so what I do is I have a blank DVD case and then I flip it around, and so this part is sticking out, and so it's a very distinct, clear difference amongst all of the other blank DVD cases of things I'm missing. Um, and then usually I'll put like a little sticky note within the plastic sleeve, and it will say, um, you know, see Criterion 248, like Videodrome, see Criterion 248. I do that mainly because I would like to keep Criterion together, because these are all in spine number order. and over there it's just in the order that they were released from the director. And so I that's kind of how I do it. Eventually, if I come across like so, if I upgrade Videodrome to 4K, actually I will hold on to this DVD and I will put the DVD over there and put the 4K over here. So as long as there is a copy over here within my Criterion collection, then I will, you know, put a copy over there. So I've done that with a few different directors, like Martin Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ. I did the same thing, and I don't know. I feel like there's like a few others that I have on Criterion, but I only have them on Criterion, but they're over there as well. Trying to think if there's another example of that, but I will say for other releases, I will put the actual release over there. So I have the Vestron video release of Shivers from David Cronenberg on Blu-ray. I just put that DVD or that Blu-ray over there, even though I have my Vestron videos over here on this wall. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how I have it organized. So eventually, it'd be nice to have two copies of things, which I know sounds psychotic, but that way I can have them over here and over there, and it's more of an OCD thing of having them all together over there, but also having them still over here. Um, I don't know. It's a yeah, it doesn't really make any sense to a lot of people, but um let's see, do you have it or something? I know. So that was actually one that David Cronenberg film. That was one that I wish that I grabbed when it came out. Um, that I wish that it's one that I've not seen by David Cronenberg. It's one of the few David Cronenberg films I've actually never gotten around to watching, and I now it's kind of I feel like it's kind of expensive now, and so maybe someday I'll grab a copy off eBay. But for now, if I come across it on cheap, like a cheap DVD or something, I'll have to pick it up. But um, let's see. Have you seen a movie called Fresh on Hulu? I have not, but I know what movie you're talking about. Nick B. Yes, I know what movie you're talking about, but I have not watched it yet. Nor actually, I don't even know what it's about. It just has a. I think the cover had like a hand in like a meat pack or whatever. Like that you would buy like in the store. So it looked like kind of interesting. But Vestron put out Coppola's Dementia 13. Yes, yes. So that's one that I've seen Dementia 13. I have like an older DVD copy with my Coppola films because then I also have within my um within my film detective films, I have a Blu-ray copy. I don't have the Vestron version, but I have this version of it on which film detective is a interesting label that I don't know a lot about it. I don't know exactly like what they really put out. I only have a couple titles put out by them, um, but um, is the sequel to The Thing good? Carpenter's the sequel to The Thing. So he never made like a sequel to the thing. There was a remake, kind of, that was in 2013, I want to say. Um, 2012, I believe. But this version of the thing, I don't know if this is the one you're talking about. Um, but this one is technically a closer, it's more of a if anything it's more of a prequel film to the like John Carpenter's The Thing. I don't They're not connected, as far as I understand. They're not supposed to be connected. I think they're supposed to just kind of be their own thing. I've seen this once. I've seen John Carpenter's Thing like I don't know 5 or 6 times, and I absolutely love it. I don't remember this that much. Yeah, so it's kind of a remake. It's like a it- as far as I understand it, it's more of a prequel film. because in or maybe it's a sequel. It's honestly, it's been too long since I've seen this. I'm sorry, I can't give you a full rendition of this, but pre okay, so yeah, this is a prequel film. This is a prequel film to John Carpenter's movie. Um, but unfortunately, I don't remember it that well. So apparently, it was not very rememberable, if that's even a word. Did you get rid of Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 and 5, the VHS tapes you had before? You mentioned it before. I did not. I still have Silent Night, Deadly Night 1, 3, 4, and 5 on VHS. Um, but yeah, I need to get Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 on VHS, and I know Vestron Video, they put out Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, 4, and 5 on a Blu-ray, which was kind of fun because I feel like those movies were also kind of hard to find until Vestron put them out. So let's see, is Uncut Gems worth picking up on Criterion? Never seen the movie, but heard it's good. So yes, absolutely. I Uncut Gems. Oh, I have the 4K here of it. Um, this movie was um, I saw this in theaters, and it is might be one of the most stressful movies I've ever seen, but it's also just like a fantastic movie. It is it really like it grabs you and the very first scene, and it really doesn't let you go. Um, until like the credits roll. It is such a well put together story and a well paced story that I really highly recommend checking it out. It was also fun because that was the first A24 crossover to Criterion, which unfortunately I think if I'm not mistaken that was the only time that's happened. So I kind of hope that would happen more, but um, yes, it's H or Uncut Gems. I would highly recommend checking out. Um, it's very good. 101 Films has a standard Blu-ray release of that's affordable. Gotcha. I'll have to check out. Yeah, 101 Films is another label I've just not gotten into. A lot of those like overseas labels from America, I just have not really dove a whole bunch into. But Imprint Films is a good as umbrella, but Australian imports are yes, they are very expensive. Um, I have um, I have like only a handful of umbrella entertainment titles, and there's a few that I really want to get, but I mean, it is expensive. Um, and Imprint, I feel like, do I have Imprint titles? I don't know if I don't think I. That's another one that I don't think I have any Imprint releases. I know there's a Suspiria box set. I believe was Imprint of the remake of Suspiria on 4K, which I would love to get, but let's see. Fresh is good. Uncut Gems is good, but not really rewatchable. Um, yeah, I'd probably recommend, or I'd probably agree with that. Um, yeah, it's one of those movies. Definitely the first time watching it, you're going to remember. See, Manhunter needs a 4K release. Agreed. Um, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit a good movie? I would say yeah. I definitely like so I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit I think it was last year actually for the first time, and it was a lot of fun. It's directed by Robert Zemeckis, I believe, and um he I mean the film is like it's a great blend of CGI and like practical, and it feels like there's like it's seamless. I really don't understand how they did it, especially when they made the movie, and so um yeah, I really liked Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's a fun movie. Um, let's see. Safdie brothers are definitely influenced by Michael Mann. I would agree. Roger Rabbit is a classic, definitely. I remember that one actor was acting around invisible characters for months. He started seeing and hearing them. Oh well, yes. Umbrella did Magnum Force, and I am are hoping someone in the US will release it. Yes, and Zemeckis' best films besides Roger Rabbit and the first Back to the Future is Used Cars, which Shout put out on 4K. Yeah, so actually I only have Used Cars on DVD. However, I watched that movie probably way too young. But I love Used Cars. It is such a fun because I'm really big into cars and mechanics and um like when I was in high school, I rebuilt a car and it was just like a whole thing. And like, so I've always grown up around like working on cars, car restoration, just like like the world of cars. Um, and so like Used Cars was just one of those movies that was a huge, um, like it was just like the perfect movie for me, especially because it's like when you start understanding like the crazy world of like car sales and all that stuff, it's so fun. It's such a fun, just like fun movie. Yeah. Um, let's see. You're gonna hit 3.5K before 2025. Yes, I really hope. I mean, I'm at like 34 something. Which is really fun. I mean, like within a year, I think I hit like 2,000 subscribers. And so at the beginning of this year, I think I was at like 2,000 something. And so, yeah, this year alone, I've grown at least 1,000, which is so like maybe 1,500 ish. I mean, yeah, it's going to be about 1,500, which is so fun. Just, it's so fun to, um, I don't know, have that happen. So, yeah, which I will say thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it for all those who subscribe. Um, let's see. Criterion released another great Zemeckis film called "I Want to Hold Your Hand." Yes, that's a movie that has been on my list. It's like it seems like it goes on my list, and then the sale ends, and I'm like, I'll get it next sale, and then I forget about it, and so it's one of those movies, one of these sales. I just need to pick it up and just watch it because I do like Zemeckis. I love his. He's not in my director's section, but I do like his stuff. But Kino does a lot of 3D releases. Hopefully, they'll do Space Hunter Adventures in Forbidden Zone or in the Forbidden Zone. Mill Creek botched that title. Um, Mill Creek is a frustrating label. Yes, yes. So my take on Mill Creek is it's like it's an interesting label. I think what like the strong part of Mill Creek is that they will they will put out packs like this, which is 50 movies in one pack. And the this is like so many. I mean, you get. I mean, what is this? Um, it's 12 discs and 50 films. So these are definitely not quality movies. These are definitely like um just really awfully like a lot of titles of these are not going to be quality, they're not going to be very good, but like you're getting 50 movies in one pack. And so in my opinion, when it comes to Mill Creek, if you're just looking just to watch just all different kinds of films, this is like the cheapest and most effective way to watch it. The packaging's horrible, like you're getting, I mean, each disc there's going to be like 4 movies on each disc, and so it's going to be like a flip disc and stuff. And um however, for the price points, I think I got this for $8. Yeah, I think that's where Mill Creek really shines, is like getting cheap, but you're at least getting something. Um and I know sometimes with their Blu-rays or their like TV shows, some of those TV shows like they've never been put out on Blu-ray before, and Mill Creek got the rights and just released them on Blu-ray. The packaging is going to be awful, but at least we have it on something. So that's how I kind of like judge Mill Creek. I feel like it's an interesting label because at least at the bare minimum, they're like releasing things that have not been released before. I mean, you're not getting special features, you're not getting good restoration, but like at the bare minimum, it's at least available to us. Um, so I think, yeah, it's definitely, I don't consider them a boutique label. I just kind of have them within my collection. But do you, let's see, actively look for Anchor Bay horror movies? So yes and no. So there's a specific point up until I will collect for Anchor Bay releases, and that is before they sold the company to Stars, which was the cable. What's it called? The cable service or the cable channel Stars. So anything pre Stars when it comes to Anchor Bay, when it was just Anchor Bay, that's kind of like where I will collect. If I'm at a store like the Retro Attic and I come across an Anchor Bay title that is cheap, I'll probably pick it up. Mainly just to have like an older looking like DVD release. I feel like it's kind of fun. But any of the newer like releases of Anchor Bay, I don't really care about. I feel like they lost a lot of their quality. Special features just, they're not as many. They're not. It doesn't feel as intentional. But I do like the pre Stars Anchor Bay. Let's see. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. I've already been talking for almost 2 hours, so I will be wrapping this up shortly because I'm kind of getting tired. But let's see. Zemeckis has his writing partner Bob Gale wrote 1941, which is underrated. Yes. See, I'm dying to find Halloween 4 and 5 tins. Yes, I have those up think over there. Those were fun finds. I feel like I found all of these relatively together, which is Halloween 4, 5, Hellraiser, Evil Dead 2, Maniac, and The Beyond. I'm missing The Wicker Man and Repo Man, I believe, is another one I'm missing. And I want to say there's another one I'm not sure. I feel like there's at least one or two others that I'm missing, but let's see. I'm gonna try get to some of these comments. Uh, let's see. Back in the day, Mill Creek did a good job with obscure TV shows like Booker and the. But now Blu-rays are not very good. Mill Creek did a good job with the Blu-ray of Dawson's Creek, though. Yes, and I think that's what makes it like an interesting company is like they're the only ones releasing some of these shows on Blu-ray. Um, and so I forget what show was it. The Knight Rider, I believe, was another one that they put out on Blu-ray for the first time. And I kind of wish that, like, in a way, that's either like I wish they had like the more what's it called, like the cheaper packaging where it's like in the sleeves and it wasn't like super great. Um, they put out they put out Miami Vice. Yes. And I just feel like they I wish they would do like cheaper options when it comes to just a cardboard very very cheesy like packaging, but then I also kind of wish that they put out um let's see, it was an upgrade from the double-sided DVDs. Yes, I wish they would like also release like a more higher end like proper release, and they put like a little bit more money into it. I also don't know like the world of license that they have. They might be fighting just to release a version of the movie or show or whatever. But yeah, so it is 8:52. So I've been talking for almost 2 hours. So I'm going to probably end it here, unless if there's any last minute questions, comments, concerns, things people want to talk about. Um, let's see. I'm checking out. Good night, everyone. Good night, Ralph. Thank you for joining the live stream. I do appreciate it. See ya. Thank you for also your name here. Thank you for joining the live stream. But yes, to everyone who is watching on the playback, please feel free to see check out Fun City Editions. Thank you. Yes, I will. But if you're watching on the playback, please feel free to leave any comments down below, and I will get back to you on those. Um, and if you are watching on a playback, thank you for watching up to this point. I do appreciate it. And like I say on almost every single one of my live streams, this is my absolute favorite part about this channel, just interacting with you guys. It is always so much fun. I love hearing your guys' thoughts and opinions, and just having conversation about physical media. It's really just like the best about this whole channel. So I hope everybody out there has a fantastic week. I hope you're able to
You know, if you do live in America and you do live and you do enjoy Criterion, I hope you're able to participate in the Barnes and Noble Criterion half-off sale. There's some great titles to go get. And yeah, I know I will be personally probably be watching a lot of Criterion over the next couple of weeks, and so yeah, thank you guys again so much for these live streams. They are always so much fun. So I'm gonna go take a nap, but thank you guys, and I